If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Okay, so we're diving deep into 28 years later today.
Yeah, a sequel we never thought we'd see.
This paste-to text we found, oh man, it's juicy stuff.
Definitely raises more questions than it answers, though.
For sure. But that's what makes this so exciting.
Absolutely. We're talking about a sequel set 28 years after, 28 days later.
Can you imagine the world ravaged by the rage virus for almost 3 decades?
I mean, think about it. A whole generation has grown up in this post-apocalyptic world.
They wouldn't even remember what life was like before.
Exactly. They'd only know chaos and survival.
And this isn't your typical zombie apocalypse either.
Oh, no. The infected in 28 days later, they weren't just slow, mindless corpses.
They were driven by pure rage, fast, and incredibly violent.
Imagine trying to rebuild society with that threat still lurking around every corner.
That's what's so fascinating about this time jump. It allows the sequel to explore the long-term consequences of the outbreak.
Exactly. How do you rebuild infrastructure? How do you even begin to heal the psychological scars left on survivors?
And the pasted text mentions societal collapse and recovery as major themes.
It makes you wonder, what does that recovery look like? Is it even possible to fully recover from something like this?
I mean, just imagine the PTSD, the collective trauma.
And what about the potential for lingering infected?
Yeah.
Or even mutated strains of the virus?
Right. You think you've got things under control, and then bam, a new outbreak pops up.
It'd be like starting from square one all over again.
And then there's the big question mark looming over all of this. Cillian Murphy potentially returning as Jim.
Oh, yeah. That's the bombshell. Can you believe it? Jim surviving for 28 years in this world.
It just blows my mind. What kind of person would he even be after all this time?
Right. Has he become a hardened survivor? A leader? Or has the world broken him?
I mean, we saw him at the end of 28 days later, seemingly hopeful.
Yeah. But 28 years in a world like that, it's got to take its toll.
Maybe he's become a symbol of hope. A guide for this new generation struggling to survive.
Or maybe he's succumbed to the darkness, become a threat himself.
That's a terrifying thought.
Yeah.
And, I can't help but wonder if Jim's return undermines the idea of a fresh take.
I see what you mean. Will we just be rehashing familiar ground?
Well, remember, we've got Danny Boyle and Alex Garland back as director and writer.
Oh, yeah. That's huge. They're the creative minds behind the original 28 Days Later.
Exactly. And they're known for pushing boundaries for their distinct styles.
Boyle with his kinetic energy and that almost frenetic visual style.
And Garland with his bleak, thought-provoking narratives.
Having them both back, it suggests they're going for something truly unique with this sequel.
I was just reading in the pasted text. Garland actually said, "We're not interested in simply rehashing the past."
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said, "This is about exploring the human condition in the face of long-term consequences."
That's interesting. So it sounds like they're really diving deep into the psychological and societal impact of the rage virus.
Exactly. It's not just about the scares this time.
It's about how humanity survives and rebuilds after such a devastating event.
Think about the potential themes. Guilt forgiveness, the burden of survival, maintaining hope in a shattered world.
It's a rich landscape for storytelling, and I have a feeling Boyle and Garland will use it to deliver both visceral thrills and thought-provoking commentary.
Absolutely. So yeah, we've got a world transformed, familiar faces potentially returning, and a creative team that's known for pushing boundaries.
It's all shaping up to be a truly unique and thought-provoking sequel.
But the biggest question remains, what story will actually unfold in 28 years later?
What direction will they take it in?
That's what we want you all to think about. How would you approach this story?
What themes would you explore?
How do you envision humanity grappling with the long shadow of the rage virus?
Let us know your thoughts, because this deep dive, it's just the beginning of the conversation.
So much more to unpack here, folks. Stay tuned.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.
If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.